All right, well, welcome once again to another episode of physics. All right, so today we're still on optics and light. Okay, optics and light, and today I have something special on the board. Let's see, we have the property of the wave shown below. So don't forget, previous classes we talked about a wave. All right, and then the properties of the wave. All right, now we have diffraction, refraction, polarization, and interference. Now, looking at this diagram, we'll see something like, first of all, this wave, all right, is passing through a small, there's an opening here. There's an opening here. It's passing through a small opening. And when it comes out, it spreads, all right? It diverges. Let's use that word. It diverges. Now, looking at the properties we have on the board, all right? And the previous video I did, I explained what some of those properties. So let's look at them one by one. First of all, polarization. All right. Now let's start with polarization. Polarization is a property of a wave that is common to light waves. And I told us in that class when we had the electromagnetic spectrum, RMI, Vox, G, the electromagnetic spectrum of light. I explained that to us in the previous class. And then where R stands for radio waves, M microwaves, I infrared rays, V visible light, U ultraviolet rays, X for X-rays, and G for gamma rays. Alright, now light waves, they can be polarized, but sound waves cannot be polarized. Alright, because light waves, they are transverse waves. And I also explained to us what transverse waves mean. Now, looking at the question, alright, polarization, this cannot be polarization because polarization is just the movement of a light ray in a single direction, in one plane, The light ray can be either white light, it can be a laser light, the motion of a light ray in one plane, one direction. That is polarization. So we're looking at this diagram here, we observe that the light ray passed through this opening, and then when it came out of the other side, it spread. Okay, it spread. Now, any light ray that can pass through an opening, the property associated with that ray of light or with that wave is what? Diffraction. So diffraction is the bending of a light ray through an obstacle. It's almost similar to refraction. The difference is that refraction is the bending of a light ray as it moves from one medium to another medium. And that affects its speed, its wavelength, all right? The frequency remains constant. I did that in the previous class. But in this case, the light ray is passing through an opening. It's the passing of a light ray or the passing of a wave through an opening. And when it comes out of the opening, it what? It expands or it diverges, it spreads out. So any wave that passes through an opening, and then when it comes out of the opening, you can see the full force of that wave. That wave possesses what? Diffraction. And we see it mostly the experiment did, a diffraction of electron rings. All right, one of the experiments used in I think quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics. So for refraction to occur, two media must be involved. And I told us in the previous classes we had, the medium can be air and glass, or air and water. So for you to talk about refraction, you must put two media in place. But for diffraction, just one light ray traveling can be traveling in a vacuum or in air and passes through an opening. This opening gives that definition to diffraction. Passes through an opening, comes out of the other side, and then spreads. Then polarization is simply the movement of a ray of light or a light ray in one direction, in one single plane. Why interference? For interference to take place, we must have two waves. We're talking about two waves. So we're looking at the superposition or the overlapping of two waves that have the same source, the same frequency, they are coherent also. All right, so they have the same wavelength. So when two waves coming from the same source, the same moving with the same frequency and wavelength, when they superimpose or overlap, so one is coming like this, all right, and the other is going this way. It can either go this way or it can be like this. One is going like this, and another is also going like this. So it depends. That is interference. So for interference to take place, two waves must be involved. For refraction to take place, two media must be involved. Polarization is the movement of a light ray in one plane, in one direction. Okay? Not necessarily through an opening, but the one that deals with an opening is called diffraction. Thank you very much. Please like and share this video. We'll delve more into higher levels in optics and light. God bless you.